Hi everyone, I'm Sudesh. I'm working as a buyer's agent. I help busy professionals grow wealth through real estate. In Australia, there are lots of people have the potential to buy investment property, but many of them are not confident to take action. It is due to lack of awareness about the market. So I'm helping people to buy investment property. Today we have Olivia is here. We can discuss about the why the many people are not even thinking about to buy investment property. We can talk about this topic. Let me introduce Olivia. Olivia, can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, of
Thank you.
course. Hello, everyone. My name is Olivia, and I am a life coach. I have been doing life coaching for 4 years now, and I help ambitious women to achieve their goals without the burnout.
Yeah,
So, through all of the different tools, techniques, resources that I have learned over my 5 year personal development journey of living and breathing this stuff, I take everything that I have learned to help my clients to learn how to manage their time, become the master of their emotions, overcome and stop people pleasing, and align their goals with their values to truly be able to live the life that they want to live and have ultimate fulfillment.
yeah, that is really great. The thing is, in order to better our lifestyle, we need to build wealth. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree.
We need to create freedom in now. In order to create freedom, it is important that we need to create wealth. And many of the people, maybe more than 80% of the people are working as employees and they're fully depending on their paycheck.
Yep.
So what will happen is if we are not getting the paycheck for the next couple of months, what will happen? They will struggle. So it is important that we need to create some kind of passive income. That
Mm,
people have skills like to work with share market, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, online business. Some people are doing YouTube's page. There are lots of options to create passive income.
hmm
But that for to do that, anyone can do it, but they need to develop that skill and they need to have the time and patience. And especially the people who working full time, they are busy with their job and also they are fully committed with they have family commitments. So for those people, real estate investment will be one of the best option.
yeah.
And that many of your clients, they are maybe fully working. And if you is that correct? Many of them are
Yeah.
fully working, right?
Yeah. A lot of my clients, they work full time, or they're business owners, small business owners. They're people that don't have an abundance of spare time.
Yeah, that's what they are busy with. In that case, if we are investing in real estate, the real estate means once initially we need to put some kind of initial deposit. And many of the people, many if the youngsters, they can get some kind of support from their family, from their parents. And if the parents can support the young kids, like I'm talking about 20s, 25 in that age, they can buy investment property with small deposit.
Yeah.
What will happen is, that in Australia, the property prices keep on going up. Every decade, the property price almost going double.
Yep.
So if the parents can help their kids to buy their first investment property, they start getting rental income. And initially, they may need to put some kind of maybe 20 to 30 percentage from their pocket to make the repayment. Every year, we can expect a rental growth and the capital growth as well. Within 2 to 3 years, this property will be self-sufficient. They can manage the property without adding single money from their pocket. So my strong recommendation to the youngsters, especially for the youngsters, they can start thinking about investing in real estate. There are lots of youngsters, they are spending money for luxury things like buying luxury cars and all sorts of, and yeah. So if they if maintain some kind of financial discipline and with the help of their parents, they can think about buying investment property. And
Mm,
what I noticed is there are lots of people are thinking that to buy an investment property it is not affordable. Like people are thinking that to buy investment property they need 1 million or two more than that. But still, There are properties are available many of the places in Australia for 400K, 500K mark as well with decent rental income.
Mm.
So again,
Where would you say those places are?
okay, we can consider regional NSW. There are lots of places. For
Mm.
example, Dabo,
Yeah.
Tamworth.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
places. But when we buy the property, we need to do some due diligence, like what is the vacancy rate there, what is the rental income, what is the population growth happening in that area. We know that in Australia the population is growing,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that each and every suburb of the population is growing. Population is not growing each and every suburb. Population is growing. It depends on the infrastructure happening in that area.
Yeah.
So it is important that we need to find a place where we can expect the population growth that will trigger the capital growth and the rental demand.
Yeah. And you probably are studying and
Yes,
keeping an eye out for that all the time.
exactly. That is my role. There are lots of people are making mistakes. When we talk to any of the people, many of them are not comfortable to buy investment property because their friends or colleagues had bad experience in with the real estate investments. The reason
Mm.
they are buying, they made some mistakes when they buy investment property. So it is very important that when we buy an investment property, it is important that buy the right property in the right location for the right price. So for that, we need to know the market. We need to have the market knowledge. We need to have the data. Then only we can take the right decision.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible. It's
And yeah,
yeah, well, it's something that my brother did a couple of years ago, and it's been really great, like a really great investment for him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that our conversation maybe last year, right, from BNI. Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
You mentioned that your brother purchased house, which is really great. There are lots of people. The youngsters, they started. They normally start working at early age, maybe 20s.
Mm.
If they can keep some kind of financial discipline, they can plan their retirement by the age of 45. Just imagine your brother bought one property. Now, if he can use that equity to buy one more property. Maybe
Mhm.
how old he is, 23 or 20?
He's yeah, 22, turning 23 this year.
Yeah, he already purchased one property. So he can buy next property soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Just imagine if he can buy three more properties by the age of 30, what will happen? You know, just imagine his property profile is 2 million. Just imagine by the age of 25.
Yeah.
What will happen is he can expect, if you buy the property in the right location, he can expect a 200K growth on the capital growth, on the capital appreciation. And at the same time, he can get the rental income.
Mm.
Within 3 to 4 years, all this property will be self-sufficient. He don't need to put any money from his pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Then,
cool.
yes, then within 10 years, this 2 million asset will reach 4 million. So
Yeah.
by what when he is 35, his asset will reach 4 million. By the age of 45, his asset will be 8 million.
So
Then
do you predict that the market is going to continue to grow and like
that
the housing
yes,
prices will continue to get
exactly. That is what, if you check the history, uh, just check what was your house price during 2015. Just check in Google. Okay, your current house price. And you can see there is a 100% growth.
yeah.
And just check what was the price during 2000. Do you know that 1970s, the median house price in Sydney, it was just less than 20,000. Just less than 20,000.
Mm.
So I'm talking from the data about from the history. If we check in the last 100 years, we can see each decade the property pricing is almost double.
Yeah, 100%. It has gone up and it continues to go up. And I
And
guess like I like your solution of getting the parents' support
yeah,
because sometimes it can feel like, especially for people in my generation, it can feel almost impossible to get into the real estate market.
exactly, exactly. The good thing about is many of the youngsters, they are still staying with their parents, which means they are not paying any rent.
Yeah,
That's a good benefit for them. When they approach the bank, they will get enough borrowing capacity.
yeah, yeah.
Many of the people are not even thinking about buying investment property because they are thinking that to buy an investment property they need 1 million or 1.2. That is their people's mindset. But still, we can manage to buy property under 400K. Recently, I secured a property for my client which is less than 400K with rental income of 400 per week, which means he can manage all the expenses. I'm not saying 100%. Maybe he only may need to put 10 to 20% from his pocket. But
Yeah.
within a couple of years, he will be in a position to manage this property without adding single money from his pocket. So that is the catch. Everyone know these things, but we need to use some kind of motivation to the people to take action.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, well, how would you say that you help people to feel safer with taking that leap?
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Again, there are when we buy a property, we need to do lots of researches. Like we need to know what is the market value and what is the, many places you can see that there are lots of land developments, there are lots of supplies there. We cannot expect capital growth in that area. And
Mm,
so we need to dig lots of data and we need to take decision according to the data, not emotional decisions. Many of the people, when
mhm.
they buy property, they look for the exterior thing and they were not doing enough research. Again, finding the property is not a rocket science. Anyone can do it if they have the proper research skill, market,
Yeah,
market.
so you
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. If they have the research skill, market knowledge, time and patience, negotiation skills, anyone can do it. If someone don't have these skills, I strongly recommend to consult with an expert to buy the right investment property, because buying an investment property, it is a long-term financial commitment. So it is important that we need to take the right decision.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And they're short on time, so they're and experience with being able to know the market, understand the market, and I'm sure that's something that you live and breathe every day and have heaps of experience with.
Mhm. Yeah, the thing is, it is all about we need to build wealth and create passive income, and then only we can create freedom in our life. You know,
Yeah.
I worked as an employee for 23 years. At certain stage, I felt like this is not the life what I need. Then the real estate investment gives me the confidence to quit my job. Now
Oh, good.
working on my own terms. You know,
Yeah, incredible.
the lots of people are doing business and they are struggling to run the business because they don't have enough asset to run the business. So my strong recommendation is if someone have a plan to start business, before that they need to build asset.
Yeah.
For example, if someone want 100K or 200K, do not use the hard earned money to do business. Instead of that, use that money to build wealth in real estate. Then wait for 3, 4, 5 years, build the equity, use that equity to buy investment, do their business.
Yeah, that's definitely like a really smart way to go about it, because I know that when I first started my business and was looking into becoming an entrepreneur, well, when I first actually further back than that, when I realized that being an entrepreneur is something that was possible for me and I could have the freedom that you're speaking about,
Yeah,
um, I just quit my job. I quit my job and I had no plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had savings,
mhm.
right, that
Yeah,
I'd saved up from that job. But then I then used all of that savings to take some time to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And then once I found life coaching and I knew I wanted to do that, I invested all of that savings into starting this business, which
yeah,
left me in like a tough financial position. And so the advice that I always give my friends, if they are wanting to get into a business or start a business, become an entrepreneur, I always recommend, if you've already got a job, keep that job
yeah,
and build up your business and get your ideas together whilst you still have that job and that income. And then, yeah, now my advice to them would be to invest in an asset, because, I've read I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and I've read the importance of assets.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not in a position to buy an asset right now, you know? Like I'm having to work my way around it in a different way because of the choices that I made. But you know, if someone is, you know, people might be like, oh, I have a job, like I have a 9 to 5, and like I'm in a, like a lesser position than someone who's an entrepreneur. But I'm like, no, you actually have an opportunity because you have to have the income to be able to make the investment.
Yes. Yeah.
So doing something like investing in a buyer's agent and getting a investment property would be such a smart decision.
Yes.
It
You
makes
know,
so much sense to me.
yeah, that's right. The thing is, that in Western Sydney, the new airport is coming next,
Yes. Yes.
and this new metro is coming to St. Mary's, that line, and new road is coming. All these infrastructures create a huge impact in the Western Sydney. Okay.
Yeah, I actually live in Western Sydney, and just at the very end of my road is where one of the new roads are going to be built.
Yes. So that road construction will be complete by 2026, maybe now November or something. So by the time we can expect a huge growth. There are few places lands for sale are there. So my recommendation, if you have, th there are few lands available. That land registration will be by 2026. So at this stage, we only need to put 5% or 10% of the amount. So what will happen is, once you put the 5% upfront now, within 1 year, by the time of the land registration, this land cost price will increase maybe 10 to 20%.
Ah,
You know, so
yeah.
which means there is no a monthly repayment until we do the registration. So
Hmm.
that smart way you can think about. Okay,
So you could even,
trouble for everyone. In this situation, in these circumstances, we can consider this because of these developments.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that makes so much sense to me, and that's
Yeah.
super strategic and not
Mm.
even something that I would have thought about before. Like my friend, her partner bought some land, a couple years ago, and before he even built anything on it, the land had already gone up by a couple 100,000 in value. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's good to know.
Okay. So our intention is to educate our clients to importance of investing in real estate. I think this is
Why not just do it yourself? Like why get Sudesh's help?
okay. You know, Again, buying an investment property, it is not a rocket science. Anyone can buy it. Okay. But when you're buying the property, you need to know what is happening. We need to know all the informations. So my responsibility is educate my client, give guidance, give all the informations. Once you get all the information, that will help you to take an informed decision. Okay. That is what my responsibility: educate my client and give the right direction that will help them to take right decision. And then then only you can buy multiple investment properties in future. If you made any mistake in the initial stage, then you will stay for the rest of your life. Okay. So my
Yeah.
is guide them in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. It's like your people would choose to go invest and choose to go with you because it would be saving them the potential money and heartache of making a mistake.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yep.
Because that's how we learn on our own, right? We learn on our own through making mistakes. But like what we can do is, I heard this from Alex Hormozy, which is he buys other people's problems that they've already overcome.
Exactly. Yep. you
Yeah.
know smart people doing by mistake, learning from by mistake, but wise people use expert advice to try to avoid mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, anyhow, thanks for your time. It's really appreciated, and I think this information will be valuable for your clients audience. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.